pusha every day. Pusha every day. Pusha every day. Pusha every day.
Welcome to another episode, man. What I want to speak about now is managing your career path, you know? I think sometimes we get emotional when we so strongly believe in something, when we so strongly believe in our ideas, when we so strongly believe we are tired of bosses, or we are tired of corporate, we are tired of working for somebody, and so forth. And we just move from one career to the other. You know, it's mostly an emotional decision, I think. Sometimes it is a functional decision, in the sense that you're moving up because there's growth, you know, you're getting more money, or you finally get into that job that you studied for. But I want to speak about people like myself. I want to speak about people like myself whose journey is just not in one, just in entrepreneurship or in corporate only, or in employment only. You know, let me give you a story about my career path. Or let me just give you a breakdown of how it went about. I started out as an entrepreneur. I registered my first business at 19. Some of my clients included Coca-Cola and included South African breweries. And then I went to go get employed by SAB, by South African breweries. Got fired by South African breweries. Went in between jobs for a while. And then went to work for Liberty Life. The aim was to raise money to get back into entrepreneurship or into business. And then went back into business. Some of my clients included, you know, I've always liked big clients, so they included like the likes of your Bonitas, medical funds. They included the likes of Haywood International, which I eventually got to work for. So I left business again, and I went to work in corporate again. And from there, I started my current business, which is Nungu Marketing and Distribution. So you got a guy that people always ask me, you know, Tebogo, would you take a job? Would you go back to conventional corporate employment? And my answer to them is yes, I would, because that's how my path has been, and that's how I've managed it. Now I'm going to discuss some pitfalls when it comes to that that I experienced, you know, that I always feel some people do also make the mistake. Because when I look at, even in our current business, when we put a position out, the CVs that we get, half of them, when you go through those CVs, is people that had left employment to go try it out on their own, and it didn't work out. Now they're looking for a job again, you know? And this is a position that I've been in, you know. This is a position that I've been in, you know, and it's always difficult for such people, because some you find that there's a 4-year gap in your CV that you can't explain properly, that has no reference because you were working for yourself. Now you're stuck between wanting to lie on or trying not to lie on the CV. You're stuck between saying I was working for this business, it was not my own. Because if it was your own, you've got that fear that it might make you appear as if you failed in running a business, so there's always that gap that I see in a lot of things. So you find that a guy, it's 2021, you find his CV, his career path is such that his last job was in 2017. You ask him, so you haven't worked since 2017 till now? When you start having the conversation, that's when he'll be like, no, I had a company, I registered a business, I was doing projects, I was doing this, I was doing that, I was doing this, I was doing that, but not one thing, so, but it's something that he didn't see value in putting it on his CV because he didn't know how to put it, probably because all those attempts were failures, hence he's been on the market and still is on the market right now, or sitting in front of you in an interview. So that's what I want to speak about, maybe what I'm going to share with my life and experience might shape how you approach it if you are like me. As I said, let me rewind. My first form of employment was myself. I was at tertiary. I remember me and my friends, we did business cards, or me and my partners, we did business cards. And we were all CEOs. We were all CEOs of our business, So now there you are, you're 19, you're 20 years old, you're 21 years old, you're a CEO. We need to understand levels, So when you get to corporate, there is grades, there is levels, what grade are you, what level are you, are you senior management, are you junior management? Are you executive level? Which level are you? And usually CEO is right there at the top, Now here we are, we young boys, we young CEOs, CEOs, we gunning for business. I mean, we always worked, and here I am now applying for a job at South African Breweries. I put there on my CV that I'm a CEO. The job I'm applying for is a rep job, I think I was a consumer development rep. So you're applying for a rep job. You're moving from CEO to rep in terms of levels now. They didn't make a fuss about it. They understood. We went through the process. I got the job. From there I became a financial advisor, went on my CV. Now I'm back in business. Now I started another business. I've resigned from Liberty. Liberty is the only company I ever resigned from, by the way. I've either been fired or retrenched. That's why I always speak so fondly about Liberty or insurance, because you write your own check, you're your own boss, you pay for your shit there. So I left because I had raised money, and now I went back into business. Now, what do? I'm CEO again. shoot, bam, CEO. I mean, what do you want, man? It's my business, you know. And nothing is stopping you from being a CEO. I'm not saying don't be a CEO, but if you're gonna move like I did, now I'm CEO. I think I was what, 24, 25, you know. But I'm still struggling, you know. I'm still struggling. Education-wise, I wasn't even at a CEO level. You know, I go to an interview. I'm looking for a job again now. You know, business has taken a bit of a snag. You know, we still had money. Business was still running. You know, I've never had a business that went broke. You know, when I left business to go to SAB, the business was still running. They asked me to stop it. When I went and joined Henry, you see, I've joined companies that were clients of mine. So we could actually talk about, so what happens to the business, so what happens to Nungu, or what happens to whatever the name of the business is, you know. So half the time I'd make the bad decision of saying, okay, cool, I'll can my business. Because I mean, at the time you're not making the money, you know. It's on and off, you know. It's on and off. So I'm sitting in an interview, and here I am. They want to hire me. Now we get to a snag where they want to make me an offer. You know, I remember my then boss making a joke about it. He's the one that actually made me aware of this whole thing, because he said to me, Tebogo, we want to make you an offer, but we're having a bit of a problem here in terms of levels, because the job that you're coming for is extremely junior to the level where you are. So we can't afford you at your level. My level now is CEO, you know. I'm at a CEO level. Broke as I am, you know. And we talked about this, because I couldn't get it the very first time he mentioned it, you know. I said, no, just make me an offer. He said, no, I want to make you an offer, but we got a very junior offer. It's going to be the best offer for that junior position. But what I'm saying is you are not at this level. You know, we should be getting someone more junior. That's what I mean. You know, that's when my eyes really opened to say, damn, you know, you need to manage your career correctly on your CV, you know. And from there, obviously, I laughed, we adjusted. I said, forget about the CEO thing, man. It's just something that's on the card, you know. Because I was pretty much higher than him in terms of levels anyway. But anyway, we had a chat about it. And let me tell you what I learned from that whole experience. Even if it's your business, on your CV or in your path, try and be at the level where you are in terms of the job you're doing, in terms of the education level, in terms of the experience. You know, try and be at that level. Especially if you're like me, where you don't mind moving from getting employed by someone else and then going on your own, and getting employed by someone else and going on your own, and getting employed by someone else and then going on your own, you know. Because you might find yourself that you're stuck at the same position, same money, same whatever. You're not growing. You know, even when I started Nungu, my current business, I remember on the cards there, I didn't put CEO. I was very conscious about it when I started it, you know. I didn't put CEO. Can't remember what I put. I think I put a project coordinator or something, you know, because that's pretty much what I was at the time. And that's pretty much the job that I was doing. So all you young entrepreneurs, in your teens, in your early 20s, in your whatever, if you are watching, in your early 30s even, try and put the job that you do as a title on your CV. If you're a sales guy, if you are selling, try and put the sales executive. If you really have to put something fancy, put sales business development officer or business development manager. Be at your level. Your job is to develop business, so you're in business development. That's sales pretty much. Or sales executive or sales. It's sales pretty much. Avoid these fancy, too high titles, because I'd rather put a title that even on my CV, no one's gonna question me about it. No one. And it flows. I don't hide it from my CV. There's no gap in my CV as to what did you do. You work from there till 2010, and you work from there from 2014. What did you do from 2010 till 2014? You see a lot of gaps in a lot of people's CVs. Trust me, a lot of CVs sit on my desk. So you end up making sure that there's no gaps in your CVs. Your CVs are full. Also, another thing, when you're running your business, you've got all this energy and you've got all this oomph. There'll always be a question about, so why did you quit Nungu? Why do you want the job now? Be able to explain it in a way that the situation is bad now, but you succeeded. Show some successes. That way you don't have to hide it. I mean, like for example, with Nungu, when we started, first 5 years of Nungu, we got a couple of awards. I entered the business in awards. That was strategy. Now I don't care about awards anymore. But we were. I mean, I was runner-up entrepreneur of the year. I think was it 2013. Nungu got Assegai Award for face-to-face activations. At some point then, I think we got it again later, a few years ago. But what I'm saying is, I can put that on my CV today. I can say I ran Nungu for the past 10 years, and in that 10 years, this is what we achieved. So I don't have to hide it. I can say this is what we achieved. So on my CV, there's no gaps. There's no gaps because I did work. I did put that time. So it's not about being in the streets all day. It's about building that business. It's about building that business, not to say it won't fail, but build it. You need to record your achievements as a small business guy. It doesn't matter how small, because those achievements are what you're going to use as successes when you talk forward to say, but this is what we achieved. We did this. If you can get an accolade for that, some sort of recognition for that as a small business, ask for it. Ask for it, demand it. You did this, some satisfaction letter, whatever, I don't know, but get it, because you'll be able to say this is what we achieved, and no one can take it away from me. I mean, what we achieved, no one can take away from us. If you look in the history, if you Google it, I mean, it's there. We did achieve that, and I can easily say that's what I did for the past 10 years. So now my career path is, yes, I went from a rep, I went from this, I went from that, I went from this. Now when I apply for a job, and I'm at that level. I believe I'm at that level, and I apply for it, I'm at that level. I'm not embarrassed, so now I'll take anything. I'll go back to staying a rep. Now I'm a rep. I was a rep in 2003. In 2023, 20 years later, I'm still applying for a rep. Because I didn't manage my path correctly. My belief is, if you're a CEO, according to you, when a position comes out for a CEO, and your wife says, baby, there's a CEO position, are you going to apply at Eskom? You must be able to apply. If you say I'm a marketing manager in your own business, and things go a bit hard, and there's a marketing manager's position at a Tiger Brands, at a SAB, at a Sasol, at a whatever, any corporate, you must be able to apply. That's your level. You said you're a marketing manager. Just make sure it doesn't matter whether you're self-employed or you're working for whoever. Just make sure your career is well managed. You're it's a true reflection of where you are. I think it will help you. It's helped me. It's made me comfortable in business. It's made me comfortable in presentations. That this is the level where I am, and I'm presenting it at this level. It's made me comfortable in general. If I had to put a CV down, even for funding to a bank or to wherever, I know exactly who I am. I know exactly what level I am, and so forth. Yes, the other things are CPRO things. When you buy a CK or you register a business, you will be a director on that business. You will be a managing member on that business. That's fine. That's fine. Those are, that's just your corporate identity stuff, But in terms of you and what you represent and your career, because it is a career, you're earning money. Think about it, man. I can explain it for longer, but let's nip it there. Think about it. It might help you, young CEO, young director. But I'm not saying don't be what you want to be in your business. I'm just saying if your career is going to be like mine, these are the pitfalls I came through. Now even education-wise, I'm at a different level than I was then, because I continued studying. Probably will continue studying. Self-development doesn't stop. It doesn't mean just because I'll speak about it one day. Some people will say so and so dropped out and he's a billionaire. You're not so and so. I've never treated myself like so and so. Anyway, enjoy your day, man. I just thought, let me share this with you. Ciao.